About the only time I've ever cried while reading a manga. And
everybody's been telling me I'm gonna cry if I watch this too. Look, he just said he cried. Is it really that deep? I don't know. Let's continue watching. What's good? Dark Knight gang, gang, gang. Bro, you see the vibes. Nah, let me stop. Another video of Super Eye Patch Wolf. This is part 2 of why you should watch/read One Piece. I'm gonna go ahead and finish it today. I'm gonna watch all of it. We're gonna see what's up. We'll see if the homie convinces me or not. Bro, like I keep telling you guys, I'm about right here. I'm really close to watching One Piece. Yes, I know it'll be an adventure, so if I decide to do it, I'll just prepare myself to hop on this One Piece adventure. But if I do decide to do it, I'll let you guys know. Let's continue to watch this video. Let's see what's up. I hope everybody have a great day today. Listen. Like I told you on the other video, this is what I want you to do real quick. I want you to look at the date, right? Then I want you to Google Brandon Rashad birthday, just real quick. Yeah. Hey! Nah. I'm ready to hop into this though, man. Yeah, it's a real birthday, cuz. Let's hop into the video.
And so, One Piece is a beautifully entertaining experience in the short term, while also being highly rewarding on an entirely different level in the long term. And it's these two aspects together that explain why so much of One Piece's fan base has remained so loyal to the series over the years, and also a part of why so many people have become so invested in the characters of the Straw Hat Pirates. But before we dive into what makes Luffy and the crew so great, there's a little misconception I'd like to clear up first, and that is the criticism that One Piece has weak character writing because it lacks what people are referring to as character developments. And I think it's important to draw a line here and define the difference between character development and character progression. Character progression can also be referred to as the narrative arc of a character. They start at A and eventually end up at B. And it's a powerful storytelling tool, but not one that is required
absolutely
for a good
fire.
Story. Take Cowboy Bebop, for example. There is little to no progression in any of its three central characters. Jet, Spike, and Faye don't learn any life lessons.
I never watched Cowboy Bebop, but I get that. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
But that doesn't mean they aren't well developed.
The Zuko
character development refers to
the Zuko example was a good one.
Their history, their goals, their strengths, their weaknesses, what their perspective on the world is, and how they came to view it that way. And while there isn't a great degree of character progression among the Straw Hats, each and every one of them is extremely well developed. Each one with a highly distinctive personality, from the stark indifferent Zoro shows in most situations, to Frankie, Luffy, and Chopper's inexhaustible enthusiasm for the world around them. Each Straw Hat has their own unique charm, and each one has their own compelling and often heartbreaking histories. To this date, Brook's story of his final performance for his crew is about the only time I've ever cried while reading a manga. And fuck you.
Everybody's been telling me I'm gonna cry if I watch this too. Look, he just said he cried. Is it really that deep? I don't know. Let's continue watching.
Cry whenever I damn well please. And even then, there is character progression, it just tends to happen very slowly. Just look at Usopp's journey from lying coward to Sniper King to actual competent member of the crew. As well written as the Straw Hat Pirates are individually, however, their true appeal only comes through when they're considered as a unit, when considered as the Straw Hat Pirates.
Who is this?
And to understand why, we need to first understand what being a pirate in One Piece's world actually means. The choice to become a pirate in One Piece means that you've essentially decided to shirk off the constraints of society, choosing to live outside world law and instead forging your own path and creating your own way of life.
Yo, that's how
forming
fire.
a pirate crew means that you've found a group of people willing to share in these values. In other words, you've found friends willing to accept you for who you are.
Yo, that sounds like the Dark Knight gang. That sounds like me in the Dark Knight gang. That's what I'm trying to teach y'all, bro. It's like, forget what society says. You gotta live your own life and do what you want to do in life, bro. Nigga, I'm a pirate.
Concept of Nakama that is so pervasive throughout One Piece, which translates roughly to friend, comrade, or crewmate, or as the One Piece fans have come to consider it, someone who is closer than family. And this is the bond shared by Luffy and the rest of the Straw Hats.
That's fire.
It's obvious that each one in their own way is both proud and delighted to be part of the crew. They like spending time with each other and exploring the world together, and this is something consistently reinforced by Oda in his many coloured illustrations of the Straw Hats.
Okay.
Most of which depict them just hanging out and having a good time. And I love these pages because they really get across the camaraderie felt by these characters.
That sounds dope, bro.
Each member of the Straw Hats also has their deeper reasons for wanting to be part of the crew, as each member has at some point lost someone extremely close to them, and that event usually causes them to lose their place within the world, a place they eventually only rediscover upon joining the crew. And I think this only furthers the appeal of the Straw Hats. They're a group of friends who have found each other in a massive sprawling world and who value that friendship more than anything.
Yeah, that's
and over
fire,
the course
bro.
of One Piece, it's hard not to feel drawn into this dynamic.
The camaraderie that he's describing, the camaraderie sounds... I like that. I like that. That's like, what's that anime that I watch? Seven Deadly Sins. You know what I'm saying? When they all have the camaraderie and you get to know everyone kind of differently. All I'm saying is the camaraderie sounds fire. That would be something dope to watch, man.
Like you aren't in some small way part of the crew. And I think this is a primary reason why so many people feel such a strong emotional investment in the familial concept that is the Straw Hat Pirates.
Yeah.
But it's also this same emotional investment that Oda leverages in order to create the most dramatic moments of tension and conflict within One Piece's story. While Luffy and Co face many dangers throughout their voyage, nothing ever feels as high stakes as when the unity of the Straw Hats is threatened. There's various points in the journey when, due to either external or internal factors, a member of the crew will decide to leave of their own accord, and these inevitably become some of the most emotionally impactful moments of the entire series. One such example is early on in the fantastic Water 7 arc. After sustaining repeated damage over the course of the journey, Luffy decides that it's time to condemn the crew's old ship, the Going Merry, a decision that Usopp takes umbrage with, as up until this point he has been the one maintaining the ship, but it's obvious that his actual real worry is that he too will eventually be left behind by the Straw Hats. Tempers flare and the situation quickly spirals out of control as Usopp declares to the shock of the others that he's decided to leave the Straw Hats, and it culminates in a brutal showdown between Luffy and Usopp to decide which one will take ownership over the Going Merry. It's one of the best fights of the entire series, but what always stays with me about it is the visible effect the encounter has on the rest of the crew, each one visibly shaken by the violent clash of their captain and former friend, as nothing is more upsetting to these characters than the breakdown of the family they've all grown to be a part of. It's a beautifully sad episode, and one I really encourage you to go check out.
Yeah, it sounds
It's one
deep,
of the
man.
better produced episodes of the anime, and even if you have no interest in...
I can see how that episode will be extremely touching. You know what I'm saying? Especially, like I said, you fall in love with the camaraderie. You see everybody part of the crew, and you let a crew together, and then they have to fight it out, and you know the homie is leaving. I can see how that can be extremely, like, heartbreaking and emotional. You know what I mean?
The rest of One Piece,
This is
a great example of how strong the character writing in the series can actually be. The other major example of how well Oda handles his characters can be seen in how he establishes the many villains of One Piece's world. In the same way he can utilize a character's backstory to establish an incredible amount of tragedy and sympathy, he's equally capable of utilizing this same technique to create a palpable, justified sense of fear and danger within a character. My personal favourite example of this being the terrifying Don Quixote do Flamingo. Now, we spent way too much time in the last video going through a character's backstory, and this video is already insanely long, so unfortunately we don't really have time to go through it. Okay. So, moving quickly along, god fucking damn it, okay, I can't help myself, here we go. Don Quixote do Flamingo was born to the most elite class of family, known only as the World Nobles or Celestial Dragons. A class of people of such wealth and power that they can commit atrocities in public without any fear of legal repercussion.
Okay.
A young Doflamingo greatly valued this elite status until one day his father declared that the family would be abandoning their life of excess and lordship in exchange for living an honest life as regular people, and in doing so disregarded their noble status.
This dude, so he gonna turn into a villain because his dad said, listen, we gonna stop living the lavish life. This would turn him to a villain. I'm dead.
Decision that they'd come to regret. Banished from the sacred land of Merios, the family began their new life as regular citizens, only to return to their home one night to find it set ablaze. Word had spread to a nearby village about the noble family no longer under government protection, and it brought out the seething, long-term hatred its people felt for the celestial dragons. A hatred that took the form of a series of violent assaults against Doflamingo and his family. Persecuted and driven from their home, the family were forced to take refuge in squalor, eating only garbage to survive. There, their father, now desperate and afraid, contacted the world nobles in the hopes of returning his terrified family to Merios. But he was met with only scorn, and he and his family were abandoned to the cruel world they had chosen to become a part of. The continuing ordeal slowly took its toll on Doflamingo's mother, who grew more ill with each passing day.
The mom gonna die too?
Her life slipped away. And just as it seems like the remaining family had nothing left to lose, they were once again attacked by the scornful villagers, only this time they were captured, tied to their former burning mansion, and tortured. The experience awakened within Doflamingo a great rage.
Oh yeah, I would have turned to a villain too. I completely understand it.
Form of his emperor's haki.
I completely understand it, bro.
To subdue the villagers and save his remaining family.
Oh shit, okay.
But at this point, Doflamingo was so consumed with the hatred for the people who tormented him, hatred for the celestial dragons that abandoned his family, and even hatred for his own father, whom he blamed for the entire ordeal. This would later result in Doflamingo killing his father and vowing to one day take everything that the celestial dragons have built up and burn it to the ground, his rage manifesting in a twisted grin as he declared war on all of existence.
Yo, this dude turned to the Joker.
Man that Luffy and the crew must face in the Dressrosa arc. This is the kind of writing that makes so many of the villains from One Piece so compelling, but also gives the eventual conflicts between Luffy and these characters such weight and drama, to the point that I would say I don't actually find the bigger fights in One Piece as well written or choreographed as encounters from other series, but it hardly seems to matter due to what an excellent job Oda has done in framing these encounters in the emotion of their characters. Take the monumental showdown between Luffy and Lucci, for example. What really makes this fight work is less so the tactics or actions of the characters, but more the clashing of the two's diametrically opposed emotions and ideology. Luffy is, of course, the embodiment of adventuring and free spirit, the belief that people should be allowed to pursue their dreams without worry or constraints, and Rob Lucci is the crushing wall of reality that stands in the way of all that. The personification of the faceless world government that seeks to regulate and control every aspect of society. And this setup lends real narrative weight.
Bro, One Piece is like real life, low key. Low key, my G.
Every blow of the encounter. So finally, it is of course only fair to...
What I'm saying is I understand how he got inspired from like real life. Because, you know, we got the governments and stuff. It kind of keeps everyone in a box to where it's like life has to be like this. You know what I'm saying? So I can see how the writer created One Piece. And he probably made himself Luffy. I'm telling you, bro, that's how creativity works. The writer pictures himself as Luffy, and he's trying to live a life that he wants to live. He wants to be a pirate and not just have to listen to the government. And ooh, this sounds fire.
What I consider some of One Piece's weaker points, and the biggest by far is the handling of the anime. I do actually find it more tolerable than most, with some of the action scenes having some genuinely fantastic animation. But the production does drop a lot outside these moments, and that coupled with some truly awful pacing means that it's hard to recommend the anime as anything other than a companion piece to the manga. While Oda is exceptional at creating a wide variety of characters with all manner of shapes and body types, he does draw a lot of his girl characters very, very similar. And while I like sexy characters in my anime, this is one of the few areas of the series
Did he show Hisoka? I swear. Hold on, I just needed to see.
as anything other than a companion piece to the manga. While Oda is exceptional at creating a wide variety of
We like
characters
sexy
with all
women in
manner of
anime.
shapes and body
That's part of anime. If you don't have sexy midgets in anime, it's not an anime, my G.
types, he does draw a lot of his girl characters
Y'all see the women on Seven Deadly Sins? Oh my god!
very similar. And while I like sexy characters in my anime,
That is Hisoka.
this is one of
Have to
the
make
few
sure.
areas of the series that feels phoned in. In other words, I think Oda has it in him to do better with his fan service. The pacing of One Piece can be sometimes jarring to the point that it's a little frustrating. It's common for the focus to shift from character to character, with many fights occurring simultaneously. And while
okay.
this sometimes creates a great sense of spectacle and chaos, it can also kill the momentum of a particular encounter, cutting away just as things are getting heated. And again, this is a problem way worse in the anime. The biggest barrier to entry, however, has to be its extreme length.
Yes,
Anyone
sir.
new to the series could spend months and even years trying to catch up on it, and wait many
Fuck it, why
more
not?
for its eventual conclusion. But I think, in a way,
Sounds dope.
this is also
Bro,
the
I'm
series'
really close.
biggest strength. When I think of what I love about One Piece and what keeps me coming back, it isn't the eventual promise of finding out what One Piece is or the conclusion to arcs that I know are most likely dozens of chapters away, but rather, it's just the opportunity to return to this world and spend more time with these characters. To see them fight and struggle and chase their dreams, and in turn, see how the world's many moving parts react to them. This is the kind of story that could only be told over years.
Alright.
One carefully built over hundreds and hundreds of chapters, where each corner of its world feels realized and yet where each horizon still brims with potential. And if you're new to One Piece, this is the reason I think it's still a commitment so worth making. As it's a story to get lost in, one to grow up alongside, and one with worlds and characters that will stay with you for years to come. And this, friends, is the best reason I can think of why you should watch / read One Piece.
Yo, this was a fire video, bro. First off, I just gotta say, this video was a masterpiece, bro. Shout out to Super Eye Patch Wolf. Great video. Man, One Piece, listen. I'm gonna watch one more video, man. One more One Piece video, and then I'll let you know if I'm gonna watch it. I'm basically convinced, man. I'm like 95% convinced. I'm not even gonna lie. It sounds really good. I'm prepared. You know what I mean? I'm prepared to go on the journey, because obviously this is gonna be a journey. You know, this is not gonna be something I just binge watch like Attack on Titan. Attack on Titan, I binge watched Attack on Titan in like a month. Remember? So I have to just realize this is something I'm going to, I guess, make part of my lifestyle. Just watch One Piece episodes, maybe like 2 episodes every day. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. So it's not going to be something that I binge watch. I would just have to bring it into my life, I guess. I'm like 95%. So give me one more video. One more video to watch, and I'll let you guys know. But anyway, shout out to the gang. See y'all next time. Peace.